Pirates, badasses or criminals?
By Jeremy and AJ.
Pirates have a very long history. When humans began traveling the sea, pirates began roaming it. Pirates are known as thieves on water. 6,000 years ago, ancient Egyptians reported thieves plundering boats on the Nile River, the first time pirates were indirectly brought up in history. Pirates targeted boats that were likely to carry valuable goods.
By 12,000 BC, the ancient Egyptians termed these thieves on water as the Sea Peoples. The Sea Peoples attacked Mediterranean coastal cities and harbors. These attacks contributed to the collapse of the Bronze Age empires.
Piracy remained a problem for a long time. Almost 600 years after the Bronze Age collapse, in the 5th century BC, a Greek naval commander committed treason. The commander, Dionysius of Phocaea, turned to piracy and set up a base on the island of Sicily. There, he preyed on passing ships, plundering them and earning himself a reputation. In fact, he may be the first pirate in history to be referred to by name.
Pirates have disrupted trade for over 3,000 years. From the ancient Mediterranean to even the Vikings of the early Middle Ages, sea bandits plagued oversea trade. These bandits were termed as piratos in 140 BC by the Roman historian Polybius. This is the origin of the word pirate. However, even after the term pirato came into existence, the definition of the word remained ambiguous. For example, Norse seafarers were called Danes or Vikings, but were never referred to as pirates despite their actions being quite similar.
Though Vikings were never referred to as pirates when they roamed the seas, they, along with the Hyksos and Sea Peoples, the Barbary pirates, and the real pirates of the Caribbean, are all included in chronicles of piracy. These chronicles predate the Christian era by over 1,000 years, a testament to the extensive history of piracy.
Though pirates committed many crimes and put innocent people in danger, they eventually acquired a romanticized image in pop culture. This is especially prevalent in English and American storytelling. Pirates were transformed from bloodthirsty thieves to charismatic and rebellious heroic figures, rogues that battle injustice as Robin Hoods of the sea.
This romanticization started as early as the 18th century, where sensational pirate trial reports were selling newspapers, feeding the public's appetite for thrilling stories of sea bandits. This was around the time of the golden age of the pirates. The news coverage of pirates during this time shaped many of the modern literary, film, and TV media seen today.
Arr, shiver me timbers.
The romantic pirate archetype was heavily influenced by fictional pirate characters. The image we know today was first introduced by Captain Charles Johnson, likely a pen name for Daniel Defoe, in his 1724 book, A General History of the Pirates, from their first rise and settlement in the island of Providence to the present time, or sometimes it goes by the name of A General History of the Robberies and Murders of the Most Notorious Pirates. The story includes peg legs, buried treasure, and the remarkable actions and adventures of the two female pirates, Mary Read and Anne Bonny. This heavily influenced the modern images of pirates and ultimately inspired the major pirate novel Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson in 1883, which further popularized this fantastical image of pirates. Stevenson's novels featured walking the plank, buried treasure, colorful parrots, and a whole lot of drunkenness, solidifying the image of pirates we hold today. These pirates ended up being lovable rogues that audiences couldn't get enough of.
Classic fictional pirates, such as Captain Hook from the story of Peter Pan, and more recently, Captain Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean, possess the witty and charismatic personalities that have forever transformed the way we think of pirates today. Their Jolly Roger flags, buried treasures, and livable pirate accents are all staples of pirates today.
Are you looking at me, treasure?
From a cultural standpoint, pirates now symbolize freedom, rebellion, and adventure. Unlike normal sailors like merchants or fishermen, the pirate has become a figure who answers to no one, an outlaw who has broken off the shackles of law and set out for the sea. The pirate's sense of individualism and nonconformity is where the romantic appeal stems from. Pirates live carefree lives, doing as they please when they please, the appealing life to those who value personal freedom. The appeal for pirates is what has kept them alive in media for so long. They embody adventure and freedom that people find exhilarating, even if their reality was much more harsh.
Though pirates continue to be depicted as legends of the sea far removed from our time, piracy continues to persist in a different form. 21st century pirates are typically impoverished gangs or criminal networks that hijack ships for ransom or theft, particularly in regions like the Horn of Africa, Southeast Asia, and West Africa. Modern-day pirates are almost unrecognizable from pirates of fiction, resembling regular old thieves much more than the charismatic characters of the media.
In the 2000s, Somali pirates armed themselves with rifles and speedboats in an attempt to seize cargo vessels. This reality is far from the sword-wielding pirates sailing giant wooden ships seen on TV. One famous incident occurred in 2009. The Marasek, Alabama hijacking may be the most famous recent report of pirates. The crew of the Marasek, Alabama, a Danish U.S. cargo ship, was taken hostage by pirates for ransom. The event fame only rose when the 2013 film Captain Phillips released, portraying the hijacking.
Encounters like this briefly reminded the world that real piracy involves violence and crime, not fun escapades. However, such realities often receive only fleeting media attention. After Navy SEALs rescued the Maersk, Alabama, and the crisis passed, public interest faded and popular culture returned to the mythology of piracy as a romantic enterprise.
Even the stark contrast between our imagination and reality underscores how deeply the glamorized pirate image is rooted into our minds, ignoring the dangerous realities of pirates so that we can continue to be fascinated by their fictional, charismatic counterparts.
Now that we've dove into the real and fake of pirates, let's talk about the very real impacts of them. From its beginning, piracy has significantly impacted international trade. When trade was done through sailboats, pirates preyed on merchant ships. They held valuable goods, preventing them from reaching their destination and carrying out international transactions.
During the golden age of piracy, roughly the late 1800s to early 1700s, pirates caused major problems for global commerce. They looted thousands of ships carrying precious cargo like gold, spices, and even slaves. At the peak of the golden age, upwards of 32 pirate ships were prowling the Caribbean. This means there were around 2,400 pirates all patrolling the same sea. That was enough to threaten the colonial economies of empires.
In modern times, piracy has even affected scientific and oceanographic research. An example of this comes from the waters off Somalia. The late 2000s experienced a rise in Somali pirate attacks. This growing danger led to many vessels, including research ships and commercial ships that report weather data, to reroute hundreds of miles away from the East African coast.
This sudden shift away from Somali seas had an unforeseen consequence. Oceanographers found that the lack of ships in pirate-infested areas meant far fewer observation of ocean winds and weather were being reported. This lack in data created a gap in climate records. The Somali jet, a key seasonal wind system, could no longer be accurately monitored by scientists because the pirates had scared away the ships with the measuring instruments. The effect of the pirates in Somali waters was a discontinuity in the long-term climate data for that region.
This serves as a modern reminder that beyond the immediate economic costs, piracy can also hinder navigation, delay humanitarian shipments, and even set back our understanding of the oceans.
So while it is still fun to think about the amusing and charming characters of pirates that you see on TV and popular culture, it is important to remember where these illustrations come from and how they impact oceanographic research and commerce today.